So on today's Academy lesson, we're going to talk about something that's infinitely important in the world of magic. As a matter of fact, when it comes to comedy, they say the most important quality to have is timing. Now in magic is no different. As a matter of fact, it might be the most important quality to have because it could greatly affect the entirety of your performance. Now timing could also apply to a wide array of concepts in magic, but in this particular lesson, I thought I'd speak in terms of timing from a general sense. Now, do keep in mind that even though you might ask an infinite amount of questions and think it over for hours, there's no substitute for grinding it out and learning the concept of timing through actual performance. The only thing I could personally give you is advice from years of messing up, doing cringy magic, and showing tricks for anyone who was unfortunate to watch a piggy performance until eventually I got it right and started feeling better about timing and performance in general. Now, when it comes to misdirection, timing is pretty much everything. Good timing can make an awful magician seem fantastic and a very technically sound magician seem like Jabrizi. So this is where basic social skills have the most of an effect on your performance. You have to make sure to engage in natural eye contact that doesn't seem like you're on drugs and trying to act like you aren't. So you need to play on natural inclinations and habits that all humans have. If you ask a genuine question, you'll be hard pressed to find someone that doesn't look at your face. We as humans are always looking for patterns, and the face is usually one of the easiest ones to recognize certain patterns. Even the most astute spectators will naturally look at your face when presented with a genuine question. Again, the key word here is genuine. Spectators are mostly intelligent beings. I know oftentimes I say otherwise, but honestly, they could smell BS from a mile away. So if you ask a BS question, they'll often remember it when reconstructing the trick in their head if it stands out too much. Now, these social cues are important because they affect your timing 100%. Having control when a spectator engages in certain actions is crucial in getting away with a lot of otherwise suspicious actions. Another important piece of advice not only applies to magic, but actually applies to genuine social skills is the idea of genuinely listening to a spectator. Now, what I mean by this is when somebody else is talking to you, I don't know how many times it's happened, and I know it's happened, that you are just waiting for them to finish what they're saying so you could jump in and say what you need to say. Now, imagine that situation in the context of a trick, in a context of a performance where there's rigidity and structure to a trick. You need to get through certain pattern points to establish the actual effect. So when a spectator interrupts and says something, or when a spectator engages in conversation about something that you brought up, too many times the inclination is to kind of forget about them, dismiss them, and not genuinely listen to them because you need to get from point A to point B. So take the time to genuinely listen to the spectator because this can establish a precedent that spectators will pick up on. It allows them to lower their guard, and then you could take advantage of that when it comes to your sneaky moves. Now, timing is also infinitely important when it comes to the actual structure of your performance. Too many times I've seen magicians that don't know when to end a performance and just keep going for what seems to be an endless tirade of finding your card in different ways. If you do have an opportunity to perform, don't overstay your welcome. The adage of less is more almost always applies to these situations, as performing less tricks or routines keeps them interested in asking you to perform in the future. While if you show them absolutely everything you have on the first run, why even bother asking you next time? Obviously, this is very different in professional situations as you are kind of forced to entertain for a certain amount of time. Although, if you are doing restaurant work, please don't get in the way of the staff trying to do their job just so you could get through your 19-phase ambitious card. Oh, it's back on top. Now look, I'm going to put it back in the middle, but this time this way. Guess what? It's back on top. I'm going to put it, but this time from the front. Now it's back on top. And also, don't ever perform when there's food on the table. I know I don't have to say that, but some people I've seen do it. They're doing tricks. The food's already there. It's getting cold. But guess what? You still have to get through your patter. You still have to get through that rehearsed script that nobody really cares about because the moon's over hammy is already on the table. God Damn it. So anyways, I think the most important thing to have is a little bit of common sense. Common sense might be a saving grace, as most of timing is in fact common sense. You do the thing when they're not looking at the thing. You bend the spoon when they're not looking at the spoon. You do the pass when they're not looking at it. So I repeat once again, there is no substitute for performance. You will get it wrong in the beginning. You will get caught. You will definitely cringe. But it's what we all had to go through with this as a performance art. And remember, it's a fucking trick. So thank you guys for being part of the Academy. This week was mostly theory-based magic. However, next week we're going to go back to actually hardcore tutorials on sleights and all the good stuff. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of stuff that was more important in you growing as a performer rather than just focus on sleights. So thank you guys again, and I hope to see you on the next lesson.